Hello and welcome to the STB Racing here for season 21 at the Dutch Grand Prix. No tier 2 obviously yesterday. We decided to cancel it because of the Wales-England game when we reduced the numbers quite significantly. So obviously we didn't race yesterday for precaution measures and moved that probably towards where Tier 1 will race in Austria for the second more swift round of the season. But today here we are back at the coast of the Netherlands here for at Zandvoort. There's plenty of yellow flags going on right now. Not sure what's going on here. It's been a spinner. There's now the tower of the circuit. It's Fernando. He's off the circuit. It's be like I'm getting those black flashes, as you can tell. So sorry for if you can see them on the stream. I can't really get rid of it. The only way to get rid of it is I would leave the game, but that means leaving the host to somebody else, which I don't want to do. So it only really happens normally in the pit lane anyway, so it's not too bad. Now we're on a lap of Maldi. Next first person to get that captures that's just coming to start the line to get a lap done. Turn 2, very easy to lose the rear end, especially in the race, especially if asking for too much throttle. Turn 3, might take quite a tight line. I take quite a tight, wider line there, and then cut in a little bit. Although first bit more of a tighter line through there. Keep this patch as straight as possible. Now carry much speed through it. Dare do not hit that inside curb. It will make you spin. These curbs are very deadly on a circuit. Don't want to touch the inside curb. Maldi's just missed it very slightly. He's onto the outside curb. Yep, you're asking yourself to drift, and he's out. Oh, no, it's Aston Martin. He's not him out. That's Aston Martin out. But yeah, that outside curb is, it just turns into a skating ring if you're on it. The man has been disqualified for driving the wrong way. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Maldi got disqualified for driving the wrong way. I bet it's a bit harsh. I mean, it wasn't even on the circuit when that happened, I believe. So it wasn't like he's on the circuit going backwards, but I think he's just obviously just when he's trying to get back on the circuit, because of the nature of the track, I think he's trying to get his car around when his car was obviously against the barriers, he turned it around. At a certain point, he was facing completely backwards, and obviously must have triggered it. Come back on the circuit. It's alright for a little bit, but when you've done it for like a prolonged amount of time, it doesn't like it. More black flashes tend to happen often when you're in cockpit, and third person tends to happen quite often. But that's a really quick lap time by Callum here. Dangerman and Zeus, the last two people to set lap times. Callum will be the next one to cross the line. Zeus. Let's see what he can do. Is it going to be into the 10s? 11.3. Dangerman's in the pit, so he's backed out of his lap, and Maldi is not going to be happy with that. But then again, well, he put himself in that situation, but I think that's quite harsh. So not going to be happy with that, Maldi. He was on for at least a P7 or something. At least. I think it was I think he was on P6 when that happened, so Maldi not going to be happy with that at all. Drops him down right back to last, including that's behind the people who got the qualifying ban. So Maldi's then going to have to navigate through Nikindo, Moncha and Nunez. But obviously Eddie was supposed to race, but I think it didn't code the numbers. I don't get who's missing though. So I'm still trying to figure out. Callum, Zeus, Red, Dangerman, Fernando, Jarmo. Oh, sorry. I think it's just I can't remember because Chaos, Profita, Alpha, Mastodon top 10. But who was the one that left? It must be Moncho, because Moncho hasn't come out, and I haven't seen him come out at all. Sorry for this, guys. Just give me a second. Right, anyway. I want to go and race director, but I don't want to take the risk. I've had some bad moments going race director. Sometimes it then locks you into the race director, and the only way of getting back onto it is by leaving the game. I don't want to do. So you got Callum, Zeus, F Red, Danger, Fernando. I think it's Jarmo. Oh, well, that's called Jamo though. I'm gonna keep calling Jamo to keep annoying him. I call even though Dan Dangerman is actually meant to be Dan German, but we've been calling him Dangerman for like the last 3 years or something like that. He's just got used to it. Alpha Z, Matador, Sant, P11, Munis, P12, qualifying Mancho, P13. I don't even know if he's here or not. He is. Rectendo, P14, Renardi, P15. So it looks like everyone's in. I'm just wondering why I don't know. Oh, I have 16 people in the lobby, yeah. I don't know, that makes it right, isn't it? Alpha Z, it's supposed to be Callum. Ah, that's right, because Callum's lagging, oh no. But yeah, Niggas obviously, Niggas added left in. It was 16. That's what I'm trying to question. How did 2 people join? When there's only seems to be 16. Unless I put on 17. I don't know. Oh, and Nunes has spun. Well, pretty much sums up him. And then Maudi spun as well. That sums that up as well. Tier 3 for you. You don't want to be too slow on these hards, guys. They're really difficult to warm up. His tires are not even 80 degrees yet. You can see on the, I can see on the steering wheel anyway. Not sure that the Twitch can pick that small numbers up. His tires are still on 78 right now, which is still freezing cold. They need to at least be in the high 80s to get any sort of decent grip on these tires. Realistically, I'll put 95, but it's going to be a very difficult start for him. Oh, somebody's making it definitely very easy for him. It's doing some burnouts. AK Zeus. Probably might destroy his tyres by doing it. When they've been tied up nicely, that's just going to destroy them quicker than actually get the heat up. Plus, it's all about keeping the temperature in for a long period of time. That's just doing it for a short period of time. But it's giving nice warm tyres for the start, but it'll definitely affect him later on in the race. Matador gets disqualified. They're all getting disqualified for not parking the grid slots properly. Another glitch starts on our end. The lights will go out in a couple of seconds. It's lights out and away we go. As you can see, we've got some forward going back. Oh, that's the minus. Oh my god. And that's more crash. That's Danger Man. F1 Red's been involved. And that's most of the leaders have been involved in before even turn 1. That was just pure. I think the Aston Martin looked like lost it on traction. F1 Red then went into Danger Man, and then also Rafita, then McKendo. No, I don't even know who else was caught in that, but it was definitely somebody else was caught in it. Maudi's gained 8 places off the start. Insane start by STB Maudi. He's already up to P7. I know he had a crash in the first lap with 2 or 3 cars, but the fact he's managed to gain another 5 places through that is unbelievable. F-Red's lost 3 places, he's also got a 5-second time penalty to take into account into his first stop of the race. I happy to believe that was contact with Nunes and Maldi. It almost sounded like contact anyway. More on Nunes. Because sparks will seem to fly around this part of the circuit. Maldi's car is certainly anyway. Sparking away. Deuce leads the way. Callum, side by side, we've got Fernando on the softs. He's going to be rapid for his first few laps. Callum's just let him go, to be honest. He's just going to lose time. Fernando's got a theoretical second lap faster car at the moment on those softs. They'll give you very good grip for the first 6 laps or so. The problem with starting on the softs is that you take a lot of the tyre life away just on the formation lap, unless you're being really careful. And Nunes span out, almost taking out Moncho in the process. Tyres, we've got Fernando, more yellow flags. Alpha Z, I think that was round. Definitely someone in the midfield. So race goes on. Maldi, oh, he's gone wide. I hope he didn't get a warning for that, but that's just put Maldi out of DRS range. Oh no, Maldi, you can't. Oh, Maldi spun. You can't touch that curb. You cannot touch it. You can't afford to. The curb is not touchable. As soon as you hit that curb, it's instant death, unfortunately. And Maldi's going to have to fend off from Nunes. Nunes is in the pits anyway. I think he's got damage. That compromises the strategy, but if he has 2 sets of mediums, he can go mediums to the end. So that'll be the only good thing about it. Mediums to softs, but don't think it'll quite make it. Because the medium's going to do about 80 laps and the soft's going to do about 9, so it just wouldn't make it. We've got Danger Man at the back here. He's got some people to fight, but actually it's probably not a good thing when he's far back. You don't want to be fighting, you want to be catching the back of the grid. Fernando obviously still pushing those softs, but yeah, he's on the softs, but he's on these soft tyres. Well, he could be. He's losing a lot of pace, being stuck behind somebody on a lot harder tyres. That's why the alternate strategy, I like to call it, being on the harder compounds at the start, is generally the faster way to do it. Because if you're on the softs and you're stuck in the midfield, you're not going to gain anything from them. You're stuck behind the pace of everyone else on a harder tyre. So then you're losing time all the time. But if you save those softs to the end of the race, yes, he might get undercut quite a lot. But then he at least gets the use out of those tyres when the field is spread out. And they can fully take use of it, and he hasn't lost about 10% from being on the formation lap. It's taking the wrong line there, Fernando. You need to take a wide line for that corner. FD cars, you want to take that tight line because the FD cars don't really have the downforce to sweep around the outside like that. But the F1 cars, you want to take it right outside of the circuit. Especially that line will be very difficult later in the race. Maldi's making a move on Sant here. Oh, Sant's going wide. Maldi's going to take opportunity of this. Oh, and it's almost contact. Sant actually forcing Maldi. Oh, and it's contact. That Sant, he went in way too tight there. He just never turned in. He compromised his line too much. Maldi did give a car width, but because of the angle that Sant was going into that corner, he was just going to cross over to Maldi's line. I think that was more Sant's fault, to be honest. He just did not read that situation well. He didn't open up the corner, and he just put himself in a very dodgy situation. I don't think that's Maldi's fault. Maldi was completely innocent in that. Maldi will continue on. That'll definitely hurt him. But Maldi's now back in free air. He can try and close down to the Alpha in front. Matador and Sant's going. And Rafita, going around, but Matador's just got past Rafita on the mediums. Already telling me that the softs are already going off, and that's Martin. That's chaos. No, it's not. That's F1 Reds. No, yeah, it's F1 Reds. That's chaos. Sorry, it's going absolute chaos around it. The only good thing about chaos right now is that he hasn't disconnected yet. I was disconnected about 6 times in Belgium last week. Callum is now getting the back of Fernando as those softs start to wear off away. And that's a Western Alpine, very far off, that's a Feta. And it's a full safety car. That's what I don't get. I get a safety car for somebody damaging the front wing about 20 metres off the circuit. Yeah, some people can get smashed their car up into a million pieces in the middle of the circuit, and it doesn't even give you even a virtual safety car. It's where the logic doesn't make any sense. It's on standard. It's not like it's on increased or anything like that. This is a good time for people on softs to pit now. I think Fernando was already past the safety car, all past the line. This is a good chance to actually, yeah, this is good for F1. He has to take this opportunity, get rid of that 5 seconds. Onto mediums. If he has another set into mediums, he can put another set of mediums to the ends. Actually, this might work out well for him. He's got another set of mediums to use, so he's on a softer, fresher tyre, and then he'd still be on the same tyres at the end of the next stint. Fernando, I think, will have to pit onto set of hards and try and make them go to the end, which is quite a tall order. The medium's going to do, but hard's going to do about 25 laps. We've still got 30 to go, so might be a bit of a tall order. But we'll see what he does. I don't think anyone else really would pit, to be honest, unless some of the hard ones want to get rid of those hards onto some mediums, and then they do that medium strategy. Whether they want to sacrifice track position, the fact that everyone's already bunched up isn't probably not the way to go. Obviously, this is tier 3. Naturally, you expect to be more mistakes in the lower tiers, but doesn't mean they can't race cleanly. It just means obviously you think just being more mistakes for drivers, obviously just not going to be as good. Some drivers, these guys are really, really good, but might be not have quite a pace, but they'll, they keep it clean though. Some drivers, Matador generally doesn't make many mistakes. He doesn't make you get many penalties, but he might not be the quickest, but he does everything else right. Sometimes he does have a bit of moments where I think he just kind of he just doesn't quite have that racing experience, I think, really, because he's kind of trundles most of his around side by side. When he does get side by side in the battle, it doesn't tend to go very well. I've got the Mercedes safety car out for this race. Just flex on the Red Bull fans. So Zeus leads the way. Still on the hard tyres. Just waiting for the 2 Alpines in the back. It's almost like it's Brazil sprint race all over again. Safety cars in this lap. The Alpine's just caught up just in time. Zeus is going to back this grid up quite quickly because safety car will come in about now. So if he goes any time from now, he'd be good to go. Safety car's in. He can go whenever he wants. He might leave it as late as possible. He can leave it to the finish straight. Everyone has to abide by the rules. He's gone. He's launched it. Fernando's been caught napping, and Callum is already on him like a car bonnet. These softs are all going to be quite badly worn by this point. But he might still have a bit extra grip anyway, because that soft tyre is the soft tyre, despite being quite a lot more worn. Oh, he pinched Callum there for a second. And you can see that Fernando's already struggling. Mactendo on the back of this. Mactendo started last. He started last on purpose. I want to keep it interesting, but the fact he's already 4th place kind of takes out that whole project of being last, especially when you got a 3-car crash at the start of the race. So Fernando, yeah, he's soft, so going to go off very quickly. Got Nunez. He is round. And these black flickers are really bad. And as soon as you go on a third person, Nunez spinning it round once again. We've got Maldi's quite close to the back of Alpha Z here. The difference line, mine takes the time, and that's the line he's supposed to take, Maldi. He uses a slingshots the car out of the corner, uses a downhill to get an acceleration boost. Santa's gone round at exit turn 3. One of those corners where you didn't always lose the rear end on traction, but if you do, it does tend to go really well in you because of the nature of the corner. It's asking you to pirouette. Oh, Maldi has to do it forward action there. Caught a bit napping there, Alpha C. Another spin. That is Fernando. Those softs are obviously going off because he is now down to P8. I think it's time for pit for him. His tyres are just going to be getting a bit worn out. You see the difference in condition. So much more. See how much greyer they are. Those softs are still grey all round. It's still got a bit of shine on these mediums, and that's the mediums. Fernando will be coming this up, I think. Nope, stays out. He must be trying to push it a bit more. Definitely not going to go on the mediums. Medium's going to do about 18 laps. But Maldi's now up to P6, P5. Alpha Z's now up to P6. Penna's now P3 now. He's already chasing down Callum. Zeus is just keeping the gap nicely at the moment. 1.2 seconds. Just enough to keep out of DRS. But not out of danger yet. Nintendo chomping it down all the time. Maldi's now have to go from attacking now to defending. At least Maldi gets a little bit more clear air to catch up now to Chaos. More yellow flags. That is Rafita. That car is not liking the condition that it's going through it now. Not exactly in the nicest looking condition now. It looks very dirty the amount of times he's gone off the circuit today. After all, pitted onto his hards. He was on the softs, so yeah. Should try and get his tyres, should go to the end just about. Can't just fast up the race. On 10 up old hards. Maybe a bit of ERS maybe to aid that, but that's very nice regardless, especially 10 laps in. The fuel is coming down. The hards do last quite a long time around here, so the fuel might be taking that into account as well. Though if the fuel drains, the car gets lighter. That's why if it's hard tyres actually have enough life to actually last long enough, if it's possible, that actually, despite your tyres getting older, you actually get quicker because the fuel's actually the pace of the fuel that's going down is actually making your car go faster than what the tyres can actually wear down. So you actually gain time over the course of the stint to actually get faster. Despite your tyres getting older. What's that Khan? He's always a bit on the laggy side. It didn't used to be that bad. It's only been the last couple of races been a bit laggy lately. And now Maldi's already on the back of Chaos. Chaos is now under fire from Maldi. Maldi's not quite got a second out. There, oh, Alpha C's hit the curb. He's hesitated, and now he's going to put in a back foot on Moncho behind in the Williams, the second Williams. Maldi just not quite close enough for a move on the Aston Martin. Fernando's in the pits to go on to his one set of tyres, and Alpha Z is lost the position to Moncho. Moncho through into P number 6. It's a Williams 5 and 6. Have to sit behind that's mine for another lap, unless you can find another move somewhere soon. If you can do it into the third sector. Bit of a train here for P4. Those top 3 are just pulling. Those top 3 are in a different league compared to the rest of the group. They're just completely another pace. These guys would definitely be pop. Oh no! Saying that, Callum's spun. Callum's binned it, and he's left the session. Come on, Callum. Join back. He's already jumped onto FIFA. It says it already. He's not even got. He's got a bit of end plate damage, and he's already given up. In MT3, there's always going to be a chance of a safety car. I mean, I spun there. I just didn't manage to make so much. Managed to avoid my front wing damage while trying to make an overtake. But the fact I stayed on, I so much get P4 after spinning twice. But the fact I still managed to stay there and get a P4 even without a safety car says it all, really. Just staying there makes all the difference. I was second to last by like 10 seconds, and I still managed to get some P4 in. That's a very glitchy background. Maldi's now on the back of Chaos, and that's one position less now. This opens up the podium. Obviously, installing to wait for Fernando. Fernando lost a lot of time now. So this last position now, we've got instead of having a P3, we're going to have a big battle for P3 now. So this has actually made the race more interesting for the last podium place here. Maldi's now going to be chomping for it. Down the inside of STB into turn 1. He's got the inside line, got the move done. Those medium tyres just going to start falling away a bit soon. Just starting to get to the point where the mediums are going to start struggling. It should be good for another 3 laps or so, but not to the point to pit. It's about 16 for those mediums. But you can make them go about 19 laps. So Maldo up at P3, Maldo now into the podium places. F1 Red still need to look out for. He's on the fresh set of mediums at the moment. And he's still got an extra mediums. No, he won't. No, fucking won't, because that's SC Maldi down into 5th place. Maldi is span. He has span. Where is Chaos? Chaos is down to P8. Was there contact between Chaos and Maldi that I didn't see? Maldi, oh, and talk about Chaos is absolutely outbreak himself. That's going to cause more chaos. Maldi's now trying to fight with Alpha Z. Dangerman's trying to get into order as well, and I can't keep up with this battle. It's definitely a lot more interesting than Tier 1, that's for fucking sure. Maldi's definitely get another move on Alpha here. Alpha's just out of DRS here. Alpha's not pushing, it's got the ERS to use either. Maldi breezes past. And so is Danger, and Danger looking to move up inside as well. Alpha Z hasn't quite got the car with underneath him. And now Jamo is now looking for a position. But oh, curb always give me a bit PTSD every time they go over them. Now Maldi needs to get back behind his head of his teammate. Now from red on those mediums, he's now got past Moncho. Now it really makes it life a lot harder for someone like Maldi to try and get the podium place now, because that F-Man is going to be very quick for his next about 5 laps before he pits onto his next set of mediums. And Moncho just let him pass. Moncho knows Maldi's faster, as long as Maldi doesn't bin it again. Moncho's gone wide. Oh, and Danger, that's Fafita off again. And spun again at the next corner. Hot to rear tyres does not go well. Moncho's going to have a bit of DRS to try and hold off Danger, but Danger seems to have got a bit of pace. Ever overtake for Danger Man. Right up the inside. Got the move done. Yes, he has. Danger Man up to P5. After pitting on the first lap. Maldi's now got to chase after F1 Reds, but Maldi can't pit yet. He needs to at least wait another 2 laps, I'd say. I pitted up to 18 on Monday, and just to get those couple of laps, the tyres do start to fall away, so maybe you want to pit around lap 19, 20. Maldi a bit of loss of rear end there. Medium F1 Red on those mediums, it's going to be going well for the next 5 laps. But I won't be surprised if he actually stays out a bit longer and then slaps on a set of softs, to be honest. If you can do another... Actually, no, that won't be possible. 20 laps is pushing on the mediums. And even if it did do 20 laps, 10 laps on a set of softs, it's just almost impossible. They're dead after like 9 laps. If I was from Red, I'll pit for another set of mediums. The soft tyre is just not a race tyre. Unfortunately, Ronaldo, that podium place has fallen away now after that mistake. If Ronaldo didn't make that spin, he'd still be ahead of F1 Red right now and he'd be compromising F1 Red's strategy. But now F1's got clean air and those fresher tyres, it's giving the ability to pull away. Look at the gap that Tendo's now got, 13 seconds. I just realised that AI's put Callum on a set of softs. Then again, he was on a set of hards. And Zeus, fast up a race. Exactly what I'm talking about. The rate of the fuel's going down is quicker than the tyres are going. And Fernando has gone round. He's gone from P to actually Fernando actually collision here, I think, and that's both of them have spun. But Fernando lost more places here. He's on for a podium. He's now down into P13, and he's on the wrong tyres. Why is he on the mediums for? Why didn't he go for hard? Those tyres never going to get to the end. The hards can do about 30 laps, 25 laps or something. So why has he gone onto the mediums? I don't know. Jet flags down straight, and that's Fernando again. Yeah, sums up his race, to be honest. Maldi's just nowhere got the pace to get it from red. Oh, Maldi! Did Maldi just get away with damage there? Because that was a hefty impact. A very weird place to spin though. I don't really see many places going around there. Fernando's retired in the pit lane. His race is done and dusted. Maldi, has he picked up damage from that? Has he got any only damage that we can't see, but it's got some lime green damage, you know what I mean, lime green. Maldi's in the pits very early into the pit lane. Maldi doesn't know what actually knew what the pit limiter was. Is he going to be a front wing change here? Does look like it. That is a front wing. Yes, it is. A set of mediums. I mean, I pitted lap 18 for my set of mediums, so we know it's possible to go to the end on these tyres. Airmine did 19 laps on his, so it is possible to do half a race distance on these tyres. It's just about keeping them in the nick condition. So Maldi's got a front wing change. Now Maldi, this battle is puts him in the back of this line now. So Maldi needs to get some laps in to at least gain those places back before they pit, because he'll be in the back foot for the rest of this race now. And that gives danger on free air. I think F1's made a mistake somewhere, because F1's now losing multiple times. F1's disconnected. Did not see that at all. So he's losing time all the time here. Back in, but he's lost all that time that he had. get on board and Maldi, see what he's doing on these tyres. Well, there's no battles around. Zeus is in the pits. Can I stay out for another lap? Interesting. I think you want to get rid of his heart as quickly as possible, don't you? Zeus has just come out of the pits. Zeus is currently in second place now and he's just come out of the pits. Maldi, not even the last corner yet. Not even the second to last corner. Moncho's also in the pits. This will be a good representation to see where he comes out compared to Maldi. He's already put his tyres on. Maldi's not even going around the last corner yet. And there's Moncho. Comes on the track and Maldi still going down the straight. And Moncho, as Maldi sets fast up for the race, unsurprisingly, on those fresh me tyres, is about 7-8 seconds behind. 4.5 seconds as those cold tyres take into place for Moncho. Maldi's lost about 5 seconds in that battle. But as the time goes down on those cold tyres for Moncho, Maldi will hope they can get that down as quickly as possible. Got another lap here to catch F1 Red and Jarmo and Alpha on these fresh tyres. Now with Jarmo and Nunes, I'll be pitting now. They've done 18 laps on those tyres. James in. The pits set of mediums go on for the Mercedes. So is Alpha Z also in. Again, a set of mediums for him as well. Yeah, flags. That's a Ferrari. That's Matador. I just saw Williams pass a Haas. That's Maldi got ahead of Alpha Z. So Maldi had the footwind changes and managed to get enough time to get ahead of Alpha Z. Moncho's way ahead of Alpha Z. That's just how powerful the undercut is around here, especially when you go onto the soft tyre. They only take about a lap to warm up around here. Nintendo's in the pits. He'd be also going for a set of mediums. Nice view here of the Williams pit garage, not the Alfa Romeo. Comes out P2 behind Zeus by a good 5 seconds, I believe. Oh, he's got a time penalty. Oh no. Is that 5 seconds? Let me just check. Everyone's actually got a penalty yet as well. But then again, everyone's just not big for penalties. It's a 3-second time penalty. Okay, that's a corner crossing penalty. That's not as bad then. But you don't see me often because obviously you can't really off the circuit. If you do, you're dead anyway. So you tend to stay off the curbs quite a bit. But yeah, you can still get. Sometimes you can still get a warning. Sometimes you get a bit. Sometimes you can still get one at the second to last corner. And that's one place you know you can get one. And sometimes you can get it round that fast right kink. You can get one there if you just get off the track a bit just enough. That's your arse would really get a warning, or maybe the chicane that the Alpine's is going through. Rafita. No, sorry, that's Jarmo. It's just that right hander you shouldn't pass. Get a warning for corner cutting there. Quite easy to do actually. Nintendo needs to take that into account. So if he wants to win this race, he needs to pass Zeus and then pull 3 seconds. Yeah, flags. Nunes is around again on those fresh tyres. It's weird, he doesn't spin when he's on the old tyres. As soon as he comes to the fresh tyres, he spins. Which just completely versus the logic. As Jamo is in the pits onto another set of mediums to go to the end. I don't know why they went 20 laps on a set of mediums, just so that the next tyres can do 12. Bit weird. Don't know why they didn't pit about 3 laps earlier when I should have. No, it just compromised their time a lot on those tyres. If he pitted about 3 laps earlier, he'd probably been ahead of Maldi. But now, he's behind Maldi, and he's got to gain out that time now. He's on fresher tyres, but I don't think it's worth the sacrifice of losing the undercut. The Cams also picked up a time penalty. And he's coming in pits for new tyres, set mediums, taking to end the race. Again, he can still hope for a safety car here, but it's suddenly the gaps have opened up here. Yeah, flag 3. That's Nunes again. No, that's Zeus. That's Zeus. That's massive. That's massive for this victory here. McTendo's been released. Sets Vettel up in the protest just to put extra salt on that wound. And now McTendo's got free, fresh air. All he needs to do now is pull a second on AK Zeus, which I wouldn't say would be too easy, but McTendo knows his pace. And his tyres are actually in decent temperature, not overheated. He's got a chance here, pulling that 3-second gap to win this race. And pretty much everywhere else, the gap's opened up. Chaos, he's on the harder tyre, but his tyres are 9 laps younger. Makes all the difference. Those mediums are about dead by this point. And medium hards are not even halfway through their life yet. So, only real battle going on at the moment now. All a bit wide. Tyres are obviously going off. So only battle on actually trying to get past the sand here. Canon's now trying to battle out with this lower part of the grid. Yeah, not even competition. Oh, and Vita's round again. Difference of pace. Your son's actually ghosting here. That's actually because Hunt's ghosting and Rador's also ghosting. They're getting napped here. They're getting napped. Matter even further behind. They're getting napped here. Pretty much says where Callum is at the moment. Still no option for safety car. He's on 21 laps on his tyres. He's obviously gone. He's doing that. He's doing that soft strategy. I think that's what Nunes and Jarmo are probably trying to do. But I just don't think they could get his tyres to last that long. But everyone's done it. He's gone onto a new set of softs, whether they're fresh or not, or he's onto a set of qualifying on them. Qualifying will not help him. Look quite scrubbed, to be honest. Yeah, I won't know if they're fresh or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't, because he's already used one set already. And that'll be in a softer tyre. And there's been flags. That's, I believe, Zeus, I think it was, again. Span. Or it was Safita. I think it was Safita, actually. I think he's actually an AI on it. Let's just come off it. So McTendo, it's just win. Starts at the back of the grids on purpose, and he's still going to be an easy victory in the end, even with the time penalty. F1 Red now is going to be very, very quick on these soft tyres. Going to make use of them because those tyres will go off very quickly. Seems to really make a chance of the extra grip when you've got it. Don't last very long. Maldi, I think all Maldi can be asked for now is probably P5. I don't see him getting danger man, to be honest. All Maldi can try and do is get Moncho, but Moncho is showing decent, really solid pace at the moment. So it's not going to be an easy one to try and get through, especially when Maldi's on 2 lap old tyres. Nunes has been spun again. That's Zeus again! And Zeus, I saw that on the map, he reset to the circuit there. That was a reset Can't reset. That's an instant 5-second time penalty, that is. Just span again, so the gap's been shortened again, and Mateno is just again, his life's been easier. He's not made a seem like not making a mistake pretty much all race, and he's gone and made about 4 in a space of about 7-8 laps. Interesting stuff. And danger now, gap now 12.6 compared to the 2 drivers. Red's closing on that gap very quite quickly. Red's pace is been really solid, even after disconnecting, losing about 4 or 5 seconds. His pace has been absolutely solid. It's not been quite Nintendo pace, but it's been more. He's definitely been top 4 quickest drivers today, along with probably Fernando and Zeus. Pace has been absolutely solid. It's really shown that today, and he's showing it now on soft tyres. Catch up to danger on it. I think he can get the move done at the end of this lap. He can get close enough to danger man. He's got some balls to go over those curbs. That's where those softs really come into play. The problem with the softs though is that they're very prone to overheating. So if you're not running almost minimum tyre pressures, they will overheat. I was 2 clicks up from minimum doing a practice race, and the tyres were hitting about 104 degrees after about 6 laps. Oh, there's never a flat. Is that Jesus? No, it's not. That's how it's Nunes. And McLarens are like the spinning cars. That's the second time I've seen a McLaren over wing. Trying to drive himself in the barriers, but it's reduced damage, so you can't do that. Fred's actually struggling to close that gap down. It's already, despite being soft high, he's already struggling to actually close the gap down on Dangerman after 3 laps. His tyres are probably already overheating, but I swear you do gain a lot of time. The first sector is heavily on fresh tyres. For some reason, you didn't actually gain that much, because the second sector, your tyres are overheated. The first sector, after a couple of straights, the tyres have cooled down quite nicely. By the time you get into the second sector, you overheat. Mears is out. I think he's crashed it at last corner, and there's a virtual safety car, not a full safety car, so I think people like Callum are not going to be very happy. Matendo's actually coming into the pits here. He's taking this opportunity to pit. I'm actually quite surprised at that, despite where Zeus is, but Zeus is 15 seconds behind. Why is Zeus going super slow? I don't know why. Going into the pits. Interesting. Okay, and he's been in the pit lane. That just puts salt into the wounds there. I know it's a full safety car. I didn't see that. I didn't see the safety car. It's a full core safety car. I wonder why everyone's pitting. F1's in the pits. Oh, another. This will be a 3rd set of tyres. This is definitely not going to be a fresh set, that's for sure. But it's only 5 laps to go, so I'm sure that wouldn't be too much of an issue. Maldi's also in the pits. Jarmo will also come in the pits as well. Got some gravel on his tyres there. This is going to be a sticky situation now. He's gone from being an easy P2 to now not even probably being in the top 5. Because we're going to have people like F1 Red, Moncho, and Maldi going to be right up their chuff. And that's the Williams just comes ahead of the Ferrari. That's important because in AI, it's very important to get it. No, it's not AI. That was Matador. Sorry. So tyres, fresh tyres coming down, and it's actually stayed out. A bit of a shot in the foot, I think, there for Dangerman. On Hot Tyres and Sant also spending a pit lane. So 37-mile-an-hour pit lane here at Zandvoort. Whether it's like that in real life, I don't know, because it is a very narrow pit lane. It's a bit difficult because I think there's a hill in between the back straight and turn 2 and turn 3. There's a bit of a hill or a bit of a gap, and there's big grandstands there. It's difficult to. That's the wrong corner there. Still. And you see there's a big hill there, and it's difficult to get a big lane in, isn't it? Because you need room for the garage and stuff. Realistically, I think the pit lane should really be on the outside. Although it's not very convenient, it should really be on the inside. You can have obviously have a big grandstand on the outside of the circuit. But I think for a track like Netherlands, I think it would have been good if the pit lane was actually on the other side, because it's a very, very tight area to fit all that stuff in. I wouldn't be surprised if they used all that space inside of Sector 3 to get everything they need in. You know, it's not like Silverstone where you got a whole airfield to use to fit everything in. You know what I mean? But difficult to use because it's like being Netherlands. There's lots of hills around Netherlands here. In fact, that's actually make hills man-made, so it can actually have some elevation in the country. A few penalties are being poked up over the course, but I think they're all 5-second time penalties, apart from McTendo. That is one thing an issue, though. McTendo's got a 3-second time penalty. But with danger and behind, can McTendo take advantage of that and plug a gap and use his pace in the process? He might still try and win this. He needs a safety car to come in next lap, and he'll have lap 33, lap 34. You have 4 laps to do to pull away 3 seconds to Danger Man or Zeus or F Red, whoever's in second place. Zeus. 5 seconds. How well can you do to try and reduce the punishment of that penalty? But it's going to be difficult to do so. I'm sure Mardy will be thinking the way of getting past Moncho quickly. It'll be very easy on these tyres. Don't want to pick any extra punishment on these tyres. Let them go cold. It's better to actually just keep these tyres cold instead of warming them up, because in about 3 laps time they'll be 100 degrees. If you try and warm them up, you're only making get the tyres get that overheating temperature quicker. So you actually want to keep them colder, so that actually you have that better temperatures for longer before they decide to do overheat. Safety car should be in this lap. It is. Massan's just about to catch up in time. Matador's a lap behind, so he's a bit in a Sonoda situation right now, where he's left a lap behind. He should be stranded by his Favita and Sant able to catch up. Right, so after the leader, McTendo. He will back the field up. Danger Man on the back behind him on a set of mediums, 11 laps old. Going to be an interesting one to see how that fares out. Danger Man's a bit of a DJ Danny in this situation. Oh, watch out! Danger Man getting too close. It's gone. It's caught Danger Man, I think. Danger Man getting too close there. Capuzus is already side by side. With the Maldi's already made the move on Moncho, but did he get a legal overtaker? He did. Maldi got a legal overtake. The Maldi's lost a place to the Haas because he can't make the move until the start finish straight. And Maldi's now having to go side by side with the Haas driver Alpha Z. Maldi's off the circuit. He's gone to the gravel. Maldi's off the circuit. He's hit the barriers. He's hit the other barriers. Maldi's out of the Netherlands Grand Prix. He's got damage. Oh my God! With a crash with Callum and Jamo, and Callum's just been gone even worse. He's still on the medium tyres. Why did he not pit? And damage has been causing still sparks there, and that's just commiserations for them. Jamo's actually managed to keep continuing, surprisingly. He's had to see his car going backwards. Regardless, anyway, back on it. Maldi's now lost 2 seconds. I think Maldi's got damage here. Maldi's got damage. He's definitely got damage. The amount of contacts he made with the barriers, I'm surprised he got damage. And McTendo's just picked up another penalty. There's no way McTendo can win this race now unless he pulls a gap. McTendo needs to do two qualifying laps here to have any chance of winning this race. Lap 35, past lap of the race. He's got to pull, and he kind of have to compare it to Danger Man here, because because Zeus has got a 5-second time penalty. All Maldi can do is just try and keep his place as well as he can. But yeah, Maldi got a legal overtake. Just lost a lot of time. He should have really backed out. But yes, I think the hasty squeezing. Maldi should have backed out of that or broke a bit earlier. But I don't know. I didn't see the full picture. That gap now is 4 seconds. I'm putting to the leader here. It's 3 to 8.8 seconds. Can he pull? He's got to hope that Dangerman just holds everyone else up and he can pull. He needs to gain another 1.8 seconds here if he wants to win this race. And he just needs to keep Zeus further than 1 second. All he needs to do. Let those tyres stay with him. Maldi at the moment is currently slower than Dangerman on the mediums. He's really struggling. There's no visual damage, but it's really affecting. I think he wouldn't be surprised if he had a bit of serious lime green damage on both sides of his front wing. Just been enabled. As a that's Alpha Z round. I'm sure Maldi would be happy to see that. But now Maldi's got chaos to worry about here. The gap's only 4.4 seconds. It doesn't look likely. 1.3 seconds now. 1.2, 1.1, 1 second, 9/10 now is the gap. Can McTendo pull 9/10 of a second to Dangerman? Dangerman's got no ERS left, so is McTendo. It's 9/10 is the gap here, and he's still holding up McTendo. Red actually be hoping, McTendo actually be hoping if McTendo can actually make a move here, slow him down. That's still 9/10. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this rate. 7/10 now is the gap between Dangerman and McTendo. Red, he needs to make a move. He's got plenty of EOS to use. He's using it. He's DS. He's got to make a move. He's got to make the move. He hasn't made it. The Dangerman's still got 6/10. Dangerman's on for this victory here. If he can keep that gap in play, unless McTendo's got any reason to get rid of it, and that gap's only 5.6, 5.7. It's not going to be able. McTendo wins the Series Antwerp Grand Prix. Will only be for about 5 seconds because Dangerman across the line. Dangerman leads. He'll be from red second place. McTendo will be third after getting two penalties. Moncho P4, Zeus with P5. Maldi still somehow manages to pick up P6 with possible very minor damage on both sides of his front wing because they take hefty hits on both sides through turn 2 and turn 3. Jammo will be P8, Alpha Z will be P9. What a hectic end to that race. Really, really hectic there. Driver of the day, SC Maldi, but Maldi, did great at the start, but I think driver of the day for me, I think has to be F1 Red. He's done solidly well all race, even after disconnection. My driver of the day has to go to F1 Red. He's driven brilliantly well all race. McTendo, McTendo did drove superbly, but McTendo, just the 2 penalties are just really costing. I think just loses it. I think F1 Red has just completely outperformed my expectations. I think F1 Red definitely deserves a driver of the day from my side. McTendo is a fingernail behind him. But there's 2 penalties. If McTendo get any penalties and won this race, I think I'll probably give him McTendo. But the fact that F1 Red's done that well to get there, it really gives it a deserved. And he got the fact, that was McTendo, but yeah. But 2 seconds, 2 penalties, got him in the end. Dangerman leads. Even on the mediums, he was just about able to have enough pace to keep that P1 and keep F1 Red behind. F1 Red P2, McTendo finishes off your podium. Moncho P4, Zeus P5, SC Maldi down in P6. After all of that, Chaos P7 pretty much sums up the race. Jammo P8, Alpha Z P9, Callum after more points picks up a point in the end. P10, Rafita P11, Sanit P12, Master P13, Nunes P14, DNF, and Fernando also DNF P15. I was hoping I could find him that way, but I can't. But yeah, that was a very spicy race in the end there. Hectic. And I always know last lap for over safety cars always creates about issues, especially if people do not pit. Or some of them do, some of them don't, and definitely creates some hectic moments. It sure definitely did. See if we can get M in. So I want McTendo, if he's able to join. I don't know if you've got time or not. Give one to F on red as well. And Dangerman, if we can get one in for Dangerman.